And that's the most important thing that you said earlier. You need to be able to identify which products are what within your back end so you can have this functionality display on the front.
Hello everybody, welcome to Search. This week we will talk about how to create a firearm site from scratch. Now Joe, a lot has been going on in the past few months. We started panicking around end of February because of the COVID pandemic, and everybody thought that the end of the world was near. And you and I, we actually went through this because we're familiar with how the hurricanes are down here in South Florida. And every time a big hurricane is about to come, we load up on ammo because we know that there could be
Looters,
looting, and we know that it could be unsafe. Now the same thing happened, but this time it happened nationwide. Everybody was freaking out. Is the government going to be able to help us? So everybody attacked firearms, ammo, magazines, right? And we've seen, we probably have around 50, 60 clients who are firearm dealers, online firearm dealers on various platforms. And there was a big increase in demand for firearms, for ammunition. And firsthand from clients, we saw what it's like to scale. So we had clients who were shipping 500 orders a day, and all of a sudden they had to ship 2,000 orders a day. So operation-wise, we had issues. Functionality-wise, we had limitations. And we got requests for a lot of new types of functionality. And also compliance-wise, we got a lot of requests from our gun dealers. So when you are starting this website, this firearm website from scratch, and again, of course you have to be licensed, but I would expect that there are around 10,000 businesses who do over $500,000, firearm dealers who don't have an online visibility. If you were a local business, a local firearm dealer, why would you want to sell online?
Well, of course, I would like to increase my visibility. I'm just increasing my potential reach with customers. And we know that regardless of whether you're local or whether you're a national platform, a consumer doesn't matter. The majority of these consumers are buying online, and now they're forced to buy online. They're not going into the stores. So it doesn't matter if you're a local store, you should be online because your consumer could potentially be a couple states away.
Got it. So if you have a license to distribute and sell firearms, you're definitely registered with the ATF, and you're definitely registered with your local municipality. There is no limitation in terms of you being able to sell these guns online. But again, like we said, from a compliance standpoint, you have to have certain functionalities. For operational reasons, you have to have certain functionalities. I guess one of the first functionalities, Joe, that we're very familiar with is the FFL Lookup and being able to ship to FFL.
Yeah.
Can you tell us shortly about how that functionality works?
Absolutely. So if you're a firearms dealer, an online firearms dealer, if you're ever going to ship a firearm or ammunition, you need to ship that to another firearms dealer that is a firearms license, a federal firearms license dealer. So what the FFL functionality allows you to have on your site is it allows a consumer to find automatically, just by typing in their zip code, the closest FFL dealers within their areas to select as a ship location. So this is a great functionality that in the past didn't really exist and kind of made it very difficult for consumers to buy firearms online and for gun dealers to sell online. And now this kind of just streamlined the whole process. One of the biggest issues that we've encountered in the past were federal firearms licensed dealers having an expired license and that not being updated. So something like that where you ship it and now all of a sudden that individual cannot receive their firearm and needs to get now shipped back. A logistical nightmare in some cases that now this functionality has resolved.
Got it. And every state has different regulations. For example, I think in most states you cannot ship a firearm with the ammo in the same cart. Like you're not allowed to buy it in the same cart. And California and a couple of other states, you cannot ship ammo to a buyer. You have to ship it to an FFL. I think in every single state, you have to ship a firearm to a specific home. So again, if you look at this from a functionality standpoint, you have to, in your e-commerce site, you have to be able to mark which products are firearms, which products are ammo, which products are specific kinds of magazines, and also you need to be able to identify as they enter their zip code which state you are shipping, because the functionality and the state is going to change based on the zip code that you're entering, and the regulation is going to change. So your website needs to be dynamic throughout the purchase process. Now, this is one functionality about regulation, and every online gun dealer needs to have this FFL functionality, but there are other functionalities, Joe. Can you name us 3 more?
I would say that upsell functionality for sure. Anything like additional warranty, being able to pay for warranty for your gun, or for shipping insurance for your firearms, those are great upsells that allow you to increase your average order value. Any type of cross-sell functionality. We know that if you're most likely going to be purchasing this firearm, we know that this is the ammunition, or these are the magazines that you would typically use with that firearm. Therefore, again, another upsell opportunity there, cross-sell opportunity there. So there are multiple functionalities that these firearm dealers can use based off of the data that's on the back end. And that's the most important thing that you said earlier. You need to be able to identify which products are what within your back end, so you can have this functionality display on the front.
Correct. So if from a user standpoint, from your buyer's standpoint, when they go and they're about to buy, let's say, an AK-47 rifle, you want to sell warranty with that. And if they add to cart, it should pop up and it should say, look, you can purchase an unlimited warranty on this for, I don't know, $40, 3 years, because warranties are 90% profit. And statistically, people don't take advantage of warranties. It's just the way it is. That's why they're so popular and so profitable. So it's something that you should have on your site. We even have clients who sell, they sell insurance on the shipping, additional insurance on the shipping. So there are a ton of functionalities, but these are some of the main ones. Joe, let's talk about the back-end operations, inventory, because we had clients who had issues with equalizing inventory. They might be selling on different platforms. Maybe they list their products on eBay. They sell on gun deals, they sell on their website, they sell in their local stores. And inventory wise in the back end, I mean, it's nice to get orders, 1,000, 2,000 orders, but processing this can be a nightmare as well. What have we done in terms of optimizing these processes?
So basically what we do is we understand your back end operation from the shipping regulations, not being able to ship a firearm and ammunition within the same packaging. So understanding what that means on your inventory management system, as well as if you're selling on third-party marketplaces. A lot of these gun dealers don't just sell firearms. They'll sell other things. Scopes, obviously, sometimes apparel, depending on the size of the store. And they want to maximize their visibility. They want to maximize their profits. So they're going to additional marketplaces such as Amazon and eBay and Walmart. However, the sale of firearms is restricted on those platforms. So how are you now going to push non-firearm related products to those platforms while ensuring that a firearm doesn't accidentally slip through the cracks and all of a sudden your Amazon goes down, you get banned?
Correct. And this has happened. I mean, if your team makes a mistake and they don't mark an item as a firearm, and it is a firearm, and it shows up on Amazon, Amazon will ban your account within 5 minutes.
Right then and there. So like you said the right word, nightmare. It could be an absolute nightmare, especially if you're talking about 50, 60, 100,000 SKUs. It could truly be a nightmare for your operation.
So again, like Joe stated, we talk to you, we have conversations, and we understand your back-end operation. And we also build specific processes for compliance standpoint. I mean, the website functionality is one thing. You can limit who orders on the website, but in the back end, you also have to validate that information. If somebody comes to your site, selects an FFL, it's your job as the gun dealer or the firearm dealer to validate that that FFL is accurate, right? And that you have the FFL certificate on file. And if you have to do this manually every time, trying to call a federal firearm dealer, hey, can you email me this, that, you need a database for this. And a lot of people don't have it. So going back to the beginning of the conversation, these are all the things that you will need as a firearm dealer to be able to run a multi-million-dollar operation.
So if you're going to be looking for a hosted e-commerce solution, we suggest BigCommerce. Shopify does not allow the sales of firearms on their platform. So BigCommerce is the best solution for you guys. And then, of course, if you're going to look for an open source platform. You have WooCommerce, which isn't the best out there, but it's definitely doable. Magento 2 and OpenCard 3D Card. These are all open source solutions that you can look at. However, our recommendation is definitely BigCommerce.
Yep. And if you guys would like a discount on your BigCommerce store, please reach out to us, and we're happy to do an intro and get you guys maybe a 90-day trial and a free template on BigCommerce so you can test BigCommerce. But other than that, if you have any questions, let us know. We've been doing firearm websites probably for the past 8 years, and we'll talk to you guys next week.